It's January 3rd, 2012, No NyQuil Day. I think we'll have Jarlsberg this morning. Yeah, so I didn't take NyQuil last night when I went to bed. Managed to sleep through the night. I think I got up once to pee, but fell asleep right away again. So, good night. Feel much better this morning. I think it's partly that I'm truly getting over the cold and probably didn't have the NyQuil hangover. Just having the usual breakfast. Toasted multigrain bread with a slice of cheese, Jarlsberg today. Some berries, juice, and I'm back on the coffee, cappuccino. Got a little extra foam. I think Alice is waiting. You want some milk, Alice? Yes. Here we go. Go on. Yeah. Well, she seemed to really want that today. Nice change of pace. What do I have on the agenda today? I need to run out to the bank this morning, get a little cash. Need to pay a bill. I'll just do that online. A couple of years ago, I started having house cleaners come in twice a month, every other Friday. You know, I've talked before about how Rich cleans every day, and that's true. He's completely OCD. And then what he would do on Saturdays was do a big clean, where he would take everything apart and vacuum everything and dust everything and scrub down all the bathrooms. And it got to the point that he was taking half a day or more every Saturday. You know, essentially our weekends were shot. We couldn't do anything because he insisted on cleaning, and he insisted that I leave the house on Saturdays. A couple of years ago for his birthday, I said I'm going to get the house cleaners, and they came and they did a thorough clean. I mean, even to the point they took everything out of the refrigerator and wiped down all the shelves. We've been having them come back every other week since then, which is great because they do the heavy lifting. It kind of frees him up. We can have fun on weekends. Yes, the weekends that they don't come, he still insists on doing what he calls a light clean, where he vacuums everything and dusts, but it's not the take everything apart style. So it's made life a little better. I still feel a little guilty, you know, the idea that we have a maid service come in. It's nice. Yeah, so they'll be here today. They come in the middle of the day on Fridays. What else? I've got to run down to campus. Since this is the first week of school, startup and all that, I like to go and check in on classes, especially new classes or classes that has new faculty in place. And I've got one class that's starting today that's running for the first time. That's kind of a high-profile thing. Check on it, make sure everything goes well. Other than that, you know, it's just a little day of puttering around, which is exactly what I need after the week of this cold. So I've got to go get the Touareg filled up and go to the bank. That yellow circle on the left means it's time to refill the car, because Rich drove it last weekend and took us down to less than a quarter of a tank. So I'm heading to the gas station. Yeah, believe it or not, this is the cheap gas place. $60 and probably didn't even fill up. And now we got a traffic jam trying to get out of the gas station. I know when I video in the car driving around the city, I complain a lot about Muni and dumb drivers and things like that, but don't get the wrong idea. All in all, I'd much rather be here in San Francisco in the middle of the city, even though there's annoyances from the buses and pedestrians and bicyclists and other drivers. But compared to a typical American city that's mostly suburban and you're miles away from anything, I'd much rather be in San Francisco. You know, when I go to see my brother, who lives in San Antonio, for example, he lives in suburban San Antonio, to go anywhere from where they live, you have to drive for miles and miles. And even then, most of the time, it's a, you know, chain store or a chain restaurant that's exactly like all the others everywhere else. You'll be in the middle of nowhere, miles from where you want to be, and traffic will be at a dead stop. And to me, that's just insane. I'd much rather be in a city where the stuff I want to go to, unique stores, unique restaurants, are blocks away, and you can walk if you choose to. You can drive if you'd rather do that, if you're more comfortable, but walking in public transit's always an option. I don't get America. I don't understand America. That's what it comes down to. Not sure what these pink flowering trees are, but they're all over the neighborhood. February 3rd, and they're out. I don't know if they're cherry trees or almond trees. Just pink flowering trees. It's kind of nice though. Oh, I saw this earlier. Got so mad. It seems like the entire city is under construction, and now they're doing some kind of sewer pipe replacement or water main replacement just a block from the house. But the flowers are pretty. So I saw this just as I was pulling into the garage. Someone left a building in the street on the next block. What the fuck? A building in the middle of the street. Aren't the girls cute laying together? Sweet sisters. So calm and nice. Hi. You've had enough? I went to the bank and got cash. Of course, the ATM only dispenses 20s. 200. So I needed a smaller bill of 10. Rather than going inside the bank and waiting in line for change, I just went over to the store and picked up a chocolate croissant. Because I needed change, so one of the smallest things I could buy reasonably, right? Yeah, I think so. Like how I rationalize. Oh, look at the Sydney kitty. Sydney, are you enjoying the sunshine? Does that feel good? Just conked out there, babes. You relaxing, honey? Here comes Alice. Can't be ignored, can you? Always got to get in on it. You like the attention too. Isn't that right, sweetheart? This morning I got a call asking if I wanted to take on another freelance project. Normally I would say no, because I don't like to have too many things going on at once. But this is something that's kind of interesting. It involves a big outdoor sign, maybe a mural. It's for a nonprofit that I've worked with before. I really like them. The money's nothing to speak of. They'll pay me a pittance. I do most of it essentially for free because it's nonprofit. But just as importantly, they typically do exactly what I tell them. And for, a creative person, that kind of freedom is important. So I may wind up doing it. I don't know. We're going to meet in a couple of weeks to talk about it. Preliminary stuff. Let's see. Hi.
Hi.
I love you.
I love you too.
Glad you're home.
Glad to be home.